Welcome to Crashing Game Night. My name is Matt Diorio. Tonight it is me and the legendary one. Tonight I'm gonna give him a really good intro because Jerry
Oh,
decided to be a slacker and have to work tonight. Theo stuck working, so coming to us live on this recorded session from the great state of California, our maitre d' services, the man with the couch, the man, the myth, the legend, the lion's mane, Jason
how's it
Belidio.
going, guys? How's it going? It's a dynamic duo tonight,
I know.
the
See, you like these nights because
rock,
then
the
you get
Rocky,
you
the
get a
Rocky and Bullwinkle, the Rocky and
Rocky and
Bullwinkle
Bullwinkle. Fuck.
of uh
Oh,
of the
more like the
podcast,
Roadrunner and Coyote.
Mm,
See, you like these because then I get to like give you a good intro,
yeah. Well,
you know? And
as long as I like to have some like consistency a little bit.
I know
There are
it throws you
times when I'm
off.
like, yeah, it throws you off a little bit, but. When you have a good consistent intro, you're like,
Hmm.
all right, you know, you don't change it, you don't switch it up,
I know.
just like what is it, Michael Buffer, it just
It just it's the
every time
same.
it
It
hits,
just it
man.
is.
It's
It's
just
Buffer. You
you
know, I
expect it.
am no Buffer. I am no Michael Buffer.
Oh,
I
I
do
know,
not
but I'm
pretend
just
to be.
saying, you know what I'm saying?
That
Like,
man is a legend.
oh yeah,
So how was your week?
that's what I'm saying. Week's been all right, man.
Yeah.
Like, nothing too crazy. Just chilling a little bit. Um, yeah, I mean, like I'm behind on a few chores, but that's okay.
Hmm.
It's all right. We'll
Yeah.
get
So
by.
this will be our last recorded podcast before we return post my surgery.
Yeah,
And we got a fun
it'll
slate to
be a
talk
solid
about,
minute.
but it'll
Solid
be
minute.
a good solid minute. But yeah, we're gonna be off we're gonna try and return on the second. We've got a guest lined up. I think it's gonna really depend on how I feel and when I get out of the hospital, right?
Right on, right on.
And then we might have to postpone that, a couple of weeks or whatever.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's all right. I think the emotions have finally hit the breaking point where the dams kind of let them all out because I think part of it was on Sunday. Not only was it Mother's Day, so
Yeah.
we all know going back to, lost my mom in 2019, and then I realized my dad was going to be here this coming Sunday, flying in because he's here for surgery and all that. I'm like, holy
Okay.
shit, surgery's here. Like it's real now.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's no longer this, hey, in a couple weeks this is going down. It's,
Nah, it's
hey,
just
we
like,
are we're single freaking digits. So,
yeah.
after like next week we're gonna do kind of a just a get together with some former guests, just do like a kind of an uplifting type, session for me leading into surgery and whatnot. But it's just like after that, it's like I'm going to bed and I'm waking up and going to the hospital because I got to be there at 6 a.m. for an 8 a.m. surgery. Like
Wow.
it's here. So
So hopefully somebody's dropping you off, man.
no, my dad's taking care of all of it. So like my dad's gonna be here while I'm in the hospital and he's staying for 4 weeks after that because I'm going to be on super restriction. Like I won't be able to lift anything greater than 5 pounds. I won't be able to drive at all. So he's gonna be my chauffeur.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna have to live in a like they call it living in a tube. So normally you go to like reach out like over to the side, right? I'm not even gonna be able to do that. I'm gonna have to go like
Wow.
here, like doot, 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 doot. It's like because when you reach out to the side, you don't realize just how much you're using the muscles in your chest. And I'm gonna have an incision right down my sternum and stuff. So
Hmm.
I gotta make sure that nothing happens to that. So, but you know what? I've got tomorrow is my pre-surgery interview with the nurses. Thursday, I do my official meet and greet with the post-surgery team where they kind of go over everything that I'm gonna need to do for post-surgery, get my chest x-ray, get my blood type done, which we talked about that last week and kind of made fun of Jerry because he likes to pass out when he gets his
Yeah.
blood drawn. And that's it, you know?
Hey, and like and that's okay with Jerry, and for me too. Like I get a little weak
Hmm.
if I see the needles injected into me. Like the blood drawn, no problem. But like if I look over and I'm like, there's a needle like in me right
I
now. Oh
am
yeah, no, I'm done.
I kind of feel the
Good
same way
night.
because like I used to be an epileptic when I was a kid. So I used to have to go get my blood drawn all the time. And it's just like I had a nurse that ended up collapsing two of my veins, one with a regular needle, one with a
Oof.
butterfly, and I hated it ever since. And like,
Oof. Ah.
so now when they go to even put the needle in, I'm kind of like not looking, you know.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I'm the exact
I'll
same.
make sure
I
they're
just
checking sites. Like when I went to get my blood drawn back in March now at this point, um, they didn't get anything good out of this arm. So they went to go, they're like, oh, look, we've got some great veins like right here. I'm like, no. She's like, why? And I go, because I need good veins for surgery. You can go into this arm.
yeah.
But but no, it's time. I'm the last week I've had a couple of bad days
Of
where
course. I
I've
mean,
been
it's
exhausted. It's
you're
just
leading into something
this is
major.
major. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, as much
it's
as
to be
this is
expected.
a dime a dozen, right? It's still open heart surgery. There's still risks to it, but the risks to it don't outweigh the risks if I don't get this done.
Yeah.
Like there's so many complications. So,
Yeah.
um, as a treat to myself for the last thing I was going to do for me, because I didn't get to, well, because like Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick, it's the 40th anniversary for Top Gun, my all-time favorite movie. It
Hmm.
gets released in the theaters tomorrow, and it's going to be for a week. And I'm like, I got my kids, and then I got surgery, so I can't go see it. So I went and saw Mortal Kombat on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
I had a lot of fun with it. You know
Did you
what?
know?
Okay, so the story had some plot holes, much like any other Mortal Kombat movie, right?
Of
But
course.
the fight sequences were great. The finishers they went with for some of it was great. It was that the violence we expect out of Mortal Kombat and their finishers, right? Um, they fixed some things that some of us weren't happy with the first movie. Overall, I had a lot of fun with it though. Like I didn't have any real complaints with it. I enjoyed it. I think the banter between Kano and Johnny Cage was the best. Carl Urban was, I think, the right choice for Johnny Cage. Absolutely. He was great.
Yeah. I
So,
mean, like what you see him in The Boys, and
hmm
he has that, I guess, cockiness that for lack of better word,
hmm
douchebag potential, you know?
Oh, and that's there, like
Yeah.
straight
Oh yeah.
up. Um, I think he would have made Lyndon Ashby proud, the original Johnny Cage from the original movie back in the 90s. Um, he comes off with more of an edge. And what's funny is like in the movie he goes to like a Comic-Con type thing and he's just sitting there and nobody's coming up to his table and it's like you go to all those other conventions and you always see one actor that has nobody coming up to their table. Like and you feel for him, but it's like, yeah, okay. So, um, should you go see it in the theater? I mean, honestly, I would if you like going to see the movies in the theater, go see it in the movie theater. It was actually fun and my AMC, it was only 15 bucks for the ticket.
Hmm.
So, because I went to the matinee essentially, so it was discounted, but definitely worth it.
That's cool.
So, um, I got new comics in, Jason, and I actually wrote a
So
review.
another thing for you.
Well, and I actually already read them, and I wrote a review article for the website, which the last time any of
Interesting.
us wrote for the
Wow,
website was the end of
it's been a
24.
while.
I did not write
Yeah,
I didn't
it's been a
realize
long
I
while.
didn't write anything in 25, so that needs to kind of change. But so when we did LA Comic Con in 24, um I went to a podcasting panel. Mostly
Okay.
was because of Andrea Renee, who we all know, like I've talked about. She was the host of What's Good Games, which was a all-female gaming podcast. They hung that up last summer. No, not 25 summer. So summer, yeah, summer 25, spring of 25, somewhere in there. So, anyways, on that though was Jonathan London, who does Geekscape, who is that podcast and everything has been around for ages, rivals that of Danny Pena with Gamertag Radio. Anyway, so I've been following him ever since. His brother, who used to be an actual WWE wrestler, Paul London, and him have started a comic book, and it is called Paul London, Hero of the Prophecy, and it combines fantasy like Willow and Kroll and Beastmaster and everything with pro wrestling. And
Okay.
it
You
was
know,
actually comical.
okay.
Um,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Like, so you wouldn't think it's like pro wrestling, right? But like it has a line in it that says, "You know this is a work, right?" Like alluding to that whole like everybody knows now with that whole Kifabe, it is now everybody knows
Yeah.
it's so
Kayfabe.
scripted and everything
Yeah.
now. Um, but it's basically the premise is um in this land, this fantasy land off in the universe, they believe there's a hero of the prophecy. They get this artifact, and with the last little bit of magic left in their world, they activate it. The creature, with the guy from the Owl Clan, is sitting there trying to figure out which guy to grab, and he sees him performing like up on the ropes, trying to dodge like six different people, and he's like, "Oh, that guy must be the hero," and some like literally pulls him out of Earth and over into their world. Um, it had good comical moments. I like the production value on it. Like the paper that they printed on is really premium paper and whatnot. Um, but for me is like I've been trying to give it like two comics on anything I'm reading now, getting into, and it was fun. I plan on picking up issue 3 when it comes out because the second issue definitely was better than the first. You can kind of see them, stretching their legs on that. So yeah, it was fun. It was worth picking up. I only had to pay five, what was it, $5 an issue. So that then they shipped it to me. So it was worth it. But the did a quick, review article on it. Doesn't have any spoilers on it. It's on the website, so you can just go to crashinggamenight.com. It's the latest article on our blog, which like we said, hasn't been really written on
Yeah.
since 24.
I'm not gonna lie.
Um,
It has been a
it's
solid minute.
I mean, it's been more than a
Uh,
solid minute since we've had a mobile game Monday
yeah.
review.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
man. Like, I mean, it was probably when I was still working before Costco, maybe. Like, it's been a good while. And
it had been November 21st of 24 when it was Black Friday for Nintendo. And then before that, I did an article for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth in June of 24. So I got to get back to it. I know I do. The last mobile game Monday review we had, Jay, was
we don't
April
even say.
26th of 2021.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, I knew it 5 years ago, like a little bit
Hmm.
before,
Yep.
like right around the Costco time I got hired, and then
Yep. And you moved on and whatnot. So,
yeah, I
but yeah, but I've already talked to Jonathan. Once I get out of surgery and start kind of recovering, we're gonna get him on the podcast so we can talk about him and his podcast and covering pop culture for as long as you have, plus, the comic and whatnot. But I enjoyed it. It had a lot of Willow inspiration for me, which for me holds a special place because that was the first movie I ever saw in theaters,
Willow.
was Willow.
Hmm.
So as I had gone home to visit family the year after we moved from New York to Colorado, and my cousin took me. We missed like the first 5 minutes of the movie, but you know what? I don't care. It was great seeing Willow on the big screen, you know. So, all right. So, with that being said, Jason, since it is just you and I am going to let you spin the wheel and decide where we start. Your categories tonight are Sega, Xbox, Star Fox, and PlayStation with AI.
Let's do Star Fox because I mean that's a name that we haven't really heard that often.
Alrighty. Well then, into the share we go. But yes, we haven't talked Star Fox in like ages. Hey, I'm tired.
It's all right, man. I
I
get
didn't
it.
get much sleep last night, and that's happening because I did find out that one of the things that they can't figure out why is anybody that has a mitral valve prolapse like I do, anxiety comes with it. They can't figure out why. And I think that's why I haven't been able to sleep for a while is that there's anxiety. So when we look at Nintendo, right? So last week there was some good and there was some bad. So we got the Star Fox news, which is great. But the bad to it is that Nintendo announced that September 1st here in the States, they are raising the price of the Switch to $50. Unfortunately, it is because their investors have been putting so much pressure on them that they basically bent the knee. The investors want their money now versus what Nintendo does, so they're raising the price, unfortunately. But they're going to be releasing Star Fox at $50, which is cheaper than everything else.
Yeah, the
So
normal.
what it is this is going to be basically it's a remaster slash remake of Star Fox 64.
Is it really? Hmm.
Yes. Um, so when you look at the character designs, um, people have been
They
kind
have
of
to update it.
comparing, it is definitely updated. So as you can kind of see, here's like that opening area. Um,
Oh, okay.
it does look pretty, you know.
Yeah.
Very much for the Switch 2, which it will be an exclusive. But some of the character models, especially like when you look at Falco, because he kind of has lost a lot of what made Falco kind of like impressive, even in the original, is that people have thought, hey, this kind of feels like the original Sonic treatment, right? When they came out with that really bad character design and had to like postpone the movie to redo it. Um,
I don't know, man. Like sometimes you do have to go through this like little awkward phase, and I get it. People are going to be upset about it. I've personally liked it a
mhm,
little bit more. Like the way that, because they're actually being a little bit more furry to make it
mhm,
easy base point. They are making it a little bit more furry. Like, I mean, Falco in that picture, yes, if you go back one, Falco in that like little box caption,
yeah,
oh, looks terrible. You
hmm
know, it's a little bit too rounded. He needs to be a little bit more, like, I guess, sharper.
like a falcon,
Uh,
you know.
yeah, but I mean, like, it just needs to be sharper. It's
hmm
like, and I give it to like a lot of people, Marvel, rounded characters, DC, like the shape of them, like
hmm
the artistry of them. Rounded characters, DC, it's a little bit more human-like, and then you have Image, which is like the very sharp,
hmm
like like straight lines. And that's what they need to do with Falco. They need to give him that little bit more straight edge
Yeah.
versus like a little bit rounded.
Which
But if you look at
here
this,
he
here
looks a little bit better in the
it looks
beak and
better
everything,
because I
but
guess it's because of head-on shot.
hmm
Because like Fox looks fine, Slippy looks fine, like Granddad. I forget
Peppy.
the Peppy. Yeah, he looks all right. See, like Slippy
hmm
looks good in that. So I mean, the remaster slash remake slash
I mean,
reimagining
the
of
R-Wing
it
looks
looks a
pretty.
lot better. Yeah, it looks a lot cleaner. It definitely needs an update.
So it's, when you look at him, like you can't see that some of the image like in the trailer and stuff they put in like where you can actually see his like Star Fox's legs and stuff like that, and that's where kind of the comparisons a little bit. But we haven't had Star Fox in ages.
Yeah, a
Like
good Star
a
Fox, a
good Star.
good
I mean, the
Star.
last Star Fox was at Star Fox Adventures on the GameCube, right?
No, it was this. I thought there was like a one in between that was for like either the Wii U or the Wii. But it was not great.
What
Not
is it?
great.
Star Fox Guard?
Mm,
Okay, Star
uh,
Fox
Star Fox
Adventures.
Zero or Star Fox Guard, yeah, Star Fox 2,
Oh, Star Fox Assault. That's what it was
something
on the
like that,
GameCube.
yeah.
And then Star Fox Command
Yeah.
for the DS. Oh, here you go, Zero for the Wii. So it has been a
Yeah,
while,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's what it is, Star
And
Fox Zero.
and then you
So
said
I
Star
mean,
Fox Guard
and
again
it's
for the Wii U.
and it wasn't really wasn't everything that everyone wanted,
Mhm.
Like so you're kind of like,
Oh yeah, because you had to use the Wii U gamepad and it was gyroscopic. God, that would have driven me crazy with that.
oh,
So,
so it's not that. So it does need a reboot.
mhm.
Hopefully that with this, it's going to be a lot better. It's going to be a little bit more
And I think $50 for
clear.
for a remake is not bad, you know.
Uh, Granted, it has been
And that's
almost
for
30
digital.
years. It's been 30
Physical is gonna,
years.
physical is gonna be 60. But even
Yeah.
then though, $60, um I can remember fondly sitting around with my roommates and my roommate's friend playing Star Fox 64 multiplayer
Oh yeah. I mean,
and
like
having
it's
so much
it's
fun with that.
it, it's been 25 years since that thing came out. So,
Hmm.
you're not people still remember it.
Yeah. Now the question is, how much staying power is it going to be? Is the revenue is going to be return on investment going to be there so they can actually do a full-fledged Star Fox sequel, or is this going
No.
to end up dying? Is the question.
No, it's gonna
Never
have a
know.
good following. It's gonna have a good if they put online battling to the new Star Fox, then it would be a lot more. Like it would do well. Because as you
Oh, so
remember,
you
like
can
the
see
the
here's some of the
floor,
legs right here, Jason. So you can kind of see it's like really short and stocky
stubby
compared to
as it should be.
the rest of his
Stubby.
body, you
Yeah.
know.
But yeah, if they put online multiplayer, 8-player online multiplayer would be that's it. It
That's
would
what
it
it,
would
yep,
have a lot of
eight
big
player,
yep,
eight player online.
yep. That's what they need to have. Just
That's
because
not a
the
bad
four
file
the
size either.
yeah,
14 gig.
the 2-on-2 back from
Hmm.
64 was fun. And then you bring it to a 4-on-4 instead. That's when
Yeah.
you actually have like dog fighting,
Hmm.
like actual dog fighting, in flight. Because I mean, you have what Ace Combat as how many players on multiplayer?
Ooh, 12?
But once you get
It's
that,
8 or 12. One of the two.
yeah, but you get actual like dog fighting,
Correct.
and that's what people like when they have these games because then
Hmm.
it no longer becomes like point click, camp, do like what you need to
Absolutely. And
do,
I can,
and it
because I've done
becomes more
Ace
skill.
and I've done Ace Combat multiplayer online, and
Yeah,
there are times where I have to ditch down into the canyon and see if I can, lose them, or I
yeah,
have to, duck around a corner to dodge a missile, hoping I don't have something else I'm gonna run around into.
yeah.
Um,
Because a lot of, and this is the problem with Nintendo. When I see multiplayer, a
hmm.
lot of their games are not as much skill based, like minus
Hmm.
the fighting game, but even still, like Mario Kart, it's the straight drive simulator, as a lot of
Hmm.
people like to say. because all you're doing is you're just following the
The
best
path.
line, the
Hmm.
best line for all the racing games. Doesn't matter how good you
Yep.
are, like it's just this is the optimal path that you have to take. If you miss it, you lose. You know,
Correct.
this one will actually bring out a lot of competitiveness because you have to have that skill in the dogfight. You're not just
Yes.
like, oh, let me just keep looping, looping, looping. No, that's not going to
Yep.
do anything. It's going to be
No, because you're
annoying.
gonna
It's
get
going to be annoying, but like all you're doing is just loop, 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 do a barrel, like not even.
because that's gonna be the time where I'm gonna be like, if I'm, say you and I are on a team, right? And I'm in a dogfight and somebody keeps doing a loop on me, I'm gonna be like, hey Jay, swing in behind me, right? And then that's where
And
you
that's
got
it.
that communication, like a la like Top Gun with, Maverick and Iceman going, hey, you know, drop in, take him out, and you move on your way.
Yep. Because then
So,
it only lasts for so long before
mhm,
somebody's like, oh yeah, you can't do anything.
yep. And it is coming out, June 25th. So, for
Kind
50
of
bucks,
rough
that's not
timing.
bad. I did look at, I kind of looked at what it would cost to get into a Switch 2 right now. It would
Yeah.
still run like $800 to do a Pro controller, Mario Kart, a memory card, and the console. That's a lot to drop into the system,
Yeah.
especially so that way I can install all my games from my Switch. You know, I mean, could I not go the memory card route and just keep my Switch right where it's at? Sure, I guess.
Yeah.
That would save me $100,
Yeah.
and I'm only looking at 700 to get into it. But, you
It's
know,
just the initial hit. Like I said, it's just the initial hit of
yeah.
getting the system. And
Hmm.
like when we got our system, just by random chance, I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna buy this system anyways. So I'm just like
Yeah, and you
gonna
were
do it
debating on
now.
selling that too. That was the funny
Yeah.
part. You're like,
Yeah.
should I sell it? And we're like, keep it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And it's running strong, so I'm not
do
even
I do I
tripping out
s-
on.
do I still want to get one? Yeah, but it's not like a have to have right now. Because right now, game wise, I don't have to have Mario Kart, right?
Yeah. You
And
don't need Mario Kart. What you need is
Star,
Pokepia. You need Pokepia.
God, everybody's on that game right now.
Sure, sure. Like I even like contemplated for a moment. Like my wife's on it right now, and I've been
Hmm.
contemplated. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna turn it into Matt and just like
Hmm.
start designing Pokemon homes and stuff like that. And like, oh, I gotta
It
move these
gets
grass
real.
here. And
It
gonna,
gets
oh,
real.
no, 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 no. It's like honestly, it's like if Animal Crossing and Minecraft got put together, that's
God,
Pokemon. Yep. So
good
like
Lord.
the right between you
Mhm.
you and Theo, the right in between would be that's where I'd be at. And
So
like,
like
oh,
for
game
me
over.
though, Star Fox, like right now, if I look at the games, right? Yes, everyone says, Pokemon, right? But if I look at, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Mario Kart, Star Fox, and Pokopia, right? For me personally, Star Fox would be that game that it's like, God, I don't want to miss out doing like dogfights and everything with people. Like that would be the one I would be like, okay, I could potentially just go buy the Switch 2 to get Star Fox and the GameCube, you know, virtual console, right?
Yeah.
Um, so we'll see. Like I'll reevaluate things after surgery, but I still think this may be something I wait and get after Christmas or something.
Wait till
Because
Black.
here's
Oh, I was about to say wait till Black Friday,
well,
but
the rumor when
if they up the price, then it's
Mhm.
just like
It's
might
an
as
extra
well.
$50, right? Now, here's
Yeah.
the thing is those there was a rumor that Star Fox was getting a new game, and then we were getting Ocarina of Time remake with a Zelda Switch 2
Hmm.
edition.
Makes sense.
Star Fox is right, so I'm thinking maybe in June we get the direct that says here's Ocarina of Time coming out for Switch 2, and here's the special edition Switch coming out for it. At that point, right? Jay, Ocarina of Time would absolutely be a game I'd buy the Switch 2 for.
Oh, bro, it's gonna
Hands
be a
down.
lot of people. A lot of people would just be like right up on it.
You know, and I
And
think
then you
that's
get,
the staying power of Ocarina, you know.
yeah, I mean, it's one like you hear, like
Hmm.
it's one of the rare perfect game reviews.
Yep. Now the question is, how much do they change it with the remake? You know, that's the one thing that a lot of fans are kind of worried about is that they go in and change it. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'm glad to see Star Fox back. As a game I had a blast with on the 64. Even Star Fox Adventures I enjoyed on the Cube.
Mm.
You know, so alrighty, sir. On our next stop through the gaming stratosphere, do you want to stop with Xbox, Sega, or PlayStation?
Let's, let's go with Xbox because we always talk smack on it,
And you
you
know
know.
what?
But
They've got a lot going on right now.
they but this is the thing though, and like you gotta respect where respect's getting due.
Yep.
Like it is turning around slowly,
Yep.
slowly. It's not going to be the overnight success. It's like they messed up a lot,
Yes, they did.
but
And
slowly but surely they're taking baby steps to try and make it right, which is good, which is
yep.
fine.
And Asha's
But
doing that job. Let's see what happens with it
but
though.
sometimes you got to bite the bullet a little bit and
Hmm.
take a giant step.
Yep.
You can't just like, oh, let me feel this out. Let me feel this out. No, you're on the clock now because as a lot of us, or like a lot of gamers know, we're coming around that quote unquote like next next console
Yeah.
announcement. Quote unquote. I really don't think it's gonna happen, not for another like few more years,
Well,
if it ever
Xbox's
happens,
rumor for
because we're
Xbox
already
was
at
27, and rumor for PlayStation is that they postponed it from 27 to 28 because of
yeah.
where we're at with RAM right now.
Yeah. And
Which,
and at the same time too, like once how much farther are you gonna go? Like
yeah,
we always say, any closer and it becomes a PC, and then at that point too, how much more details and grass do you need really? You
yeah. I mean,
know,
at that point, you might as
you
well just
just
make the games like choose your own adventure, and actually, just record the people,
yeah,
acting out the scenes.
yeah, you are literally at that point. And
Yeah.
I get it. They're trying to work with AI now. They're trying
Hmm.
to get like more into the AI rendering of everything, so it looks a lot more human-like. But some people don't
Hmm.
care for that. Like some people just want the quality of the game. There's a lot of games that are
Hmm.
not of that caliber that everybody loves to
Yeah.
dear Lord. Like
Um,
we're not looking for the most realistic VR, but not in VR experience. Like
mhm.
that's what it
Yeah.
is, man. Like,
So the first little bit of news came out is a new sweepstakes that they're running in conjunction with Forza Horizon 6, which is, I'd say, on the horizon come out. Um, but Sun Kang, who we all know as Han from Fast and the Furious, he's a massive car guy, even though he drives a minivan for a daily, which is hilarious. They've created a couple of jackets, plus they're going to put in, and what's funny is his little pretzel snacks from in this little snack mix from Fast and the Furious is in the picture. But they're going to be doing the two different jackets, and you're going to be able to chance to win the car. So
hmm.
You just got to go in, and to become a part of it, follow Xbox on Instagram, comment on the official sweepstakes post with the Sung Kang FH6 sweepstakes to be entered. So, yeah. I mean, Jack's not bad. I kind of dig it. But, what's the worst that happens? You don't win anything,
Yeah.
you know?
I think it's just to see how much hype this is like a one of those, let's see how much
I
hype we have for it.
I think six is gonna be big just because it goes back to they're taking it
I
to
mean,
Japan, right?
well,
Which is where a
either
lot of
way, it's
this
still
started.
Forza though, man. Like,
Hmm.
remember, it's still Forza.
Correct.
It beats Gran Turismo in a lot of ways.
Yes.
Need for Speed's been gone for a while.
Yeah,
Um,
God, bring back Most Wanted.
I mean, Need for Speed just needs to come back with actual with more
A little bit more realism to it.
trickiness. Like a little bit more realism, but
Hmm.
still maintain that
What we love Need for
not
Speed for.
not direct, yeah, not direct circle racing,
No.
not circuit track
Point A to
racing.
point B, trying
Point
to
A,
get
point
around the
B,
cops,
find a pickup race out of
Yeah.
nowhere,
Hmm.
that's all they need, and they need to just re up it, make it a lot better. We'll add traffic, add
Yeah.
actual like
Well, I mean, Need for
zones
Speed,
that are
Heat,
very
all of
close.
those, undercover or sorry, underground one and two, you had a lot of the adding in the cars, getting around them and stuff like that. But I think
Yeah, and that made it fun
I
because
think
you're
they
just like,
went
oh hell,
I think they went too far off the formula trying to become newer and it just tanked the series.
yeah.
But it would be great to see Need for Speed come back. So,
Yeah.
with that, Xbox announced yesterday that they're doing a partnership with Discord Nitro. So anybody with Discord Nitro is going to be getting Game Pass starter along with it. But on the flip side, though, anybody who has Game Pass is going to be getting a subscription to Discord Nitro as part of that. Benefits include 250 discount orbs each month, 1.2 times extra orbs for completing quests, and then automatically applies shop discounts and stuff like that. So I'm not sure really what all Discord Nitro does, but the fact that they're partnering with Discord is big.
Yeah, sure.
You know, they need something like that for their side. So they're gonna enable like live streaming directly to your Discord friends. So I think it'd be nice to be able to open that up so they can just live stream, you know. Um, but it's not bad. But the starter pass that's gonna come with for those folks that are on Discord Nitro, they'll get Game Pass starter, which is like 50 kind of ish games. It's kind of like the very, very basic tier of Xbox Game Pass. So when you look at their announcement, Game Pass, include with Nitro, so you get that piece. Are they going to do the reverse side of it and show it? Is the question. Yeah, see, they're not even talking about the starter pass that the Discord people get too for having it. So we'll see where that partnership goes. And then we got the announcement that, and this is what makes me kind of really sad, right? To really think about this in perspective, is that we were last at E3 June of 2019. And Xbox was always, that one that really kind of went on Sundays and started on Saturdays that kicked off E3 week. So every time we get another one of these showcases, the start of June, that Sunday in June, it kind of gives me like little sad reminders of what E3 was, and what it could be. So Xbox will be doing their showcase on June 7th, which would have been the start of E3 week had they actually still been around. And then they're going to do an E-Day direct for Gears of War, which they've been working on the new Gears of War for Zero and whatnot. So, or Zero Day, whatever they want to call it, E-Day. Um, and then they're also going to bring back Xbox Fan Fest as well. So I think this is also kind of like bringing back FanFest is something that the Xbox fans have wanted,
They need,
and they need,
honestly.
you know. And I really think, I look at it because I've got the PlayStation Experience banner above my desk, the 2016 one, and I think even PlayStation needs something like that. Like we need something. Like PAX is great and all, but we need something that celebrates each of the ecosystems, right? Xbox getting their fan fest back, PlayStation kind of doing their same thing, but with it being online now, it's kind of like we'll talk about AI here in a few, but it's like we miss that human interaction. Like, and I don't, our podcast wouldn't exist had there not been that human interaction, right?
Hmm.
Going all the way back to, this, we talk about this all the time, Disney Infinity, but then also the guests that we've met and had on the show, a lot of them we met because of E3,
No, yeah.
especially like John, right? John Eric Bentley happened to be in the demo for Final Fantasy VII in the group that I was in. Struck up a conversation and we started talking right from there, you know? And now look at where everything is. So good for Xbox. It's still a little, still a little sad though that E3 kind of went that way. But we saw the writing on the wall though. The years preceding 19, you know. I'm
A little
still a
bit,
little,
yeah. I mean,
you
it's
know,
once it went public,
hmm
um, it wasn't that wasn't the downfall. The downfall was the amount of uh how intense the people were waiting for things.
hmm
You know, it was no longer a let's check this out. It was more of a um
And that was the thing, to your point,
a
years
wait
past, we
a
didn't have
wait
to wait
simulator.
the
Yeah,
amount
you
of
you would go
time
there,
that we
you would
did.
actually talk to them, you would have the back and forth rather than the
Correct.
last few years of the E3 where it's just like, all right, next, next, you know,
hmm
not even like, oh hey, how do you like the game? What do you think? No, it's just next, next. The only people that did do that was Indie Row, was the development corner because they
hmm
actually they wanted and looked at that
And I
feedback.
will say that when you look at it, like when we did Cyberpunk, I think you were still over at Final Fantasy, but when we did Cyberpunk, Theo and
Probably.
and Jerry and I, right, is being able to stop and talk to the dev team was
Yeah,
I love doing that. Like
yeah. Because
you don't have
they're
that
putting the
now.
blood, sweat, and tears in it.
Exactly. Like they appreciate like me being able to talk to the team at Ready at Dawn when they did The Order, 1866. Um, being able to talk to them, like able to talk to the dev team from Naughty Dog when they were presenting Uncharted 4, which God, they reminded everybody this week that it's the 10th anniversary of Uncharted 4 being launched. Like, how is it already 10 years for that game?
Yeah.
You know? So we need to get back to something like an E3. But
Yeah.
that being
I
said,
feel that it can still be a thing. And the difference is though, is that with the new climate of like how people are, I'm not gonna lie, they need to make it private again.
mhm,
But
make it a trade
instead,
show.
no, not as much a trade show. Make it a influencer show. So if you hear me out on this,
Okay.
you're shaking your head. Hear me out
No,
on
no,
this.
I was like, okay,
Bouncing it back and forth.
bouncing it back and
This
forth, not the no. I was like,
what before when we're younger, E3
mhm,
pretty much was the what is behind closed doors thing.
yes.
You know, what's the new tech? What's the new game? What does it look like?
hmm
How does that feel nowadays? Because there's not that many things that there's, that's not gate kept that well. You know,
hmm
what? society has done lately is they have brought in a bunch of influencers and social media lights to become the new, uh, for lack of a better word, young press. The young news, the
Yeah.
young press, the under 18s that don't have the ability to drive, that don't
Hmm.
have the ability to save up and get the money for. So who do they look at? They look at the influencers. They look at, oh, how many millions of views do you have of this? How does that coincide with E3?
I
Well, what you do is you put it back to
hmm
the the um the industry people, and then you just invite certain like the influencer status.
yeah.
That's it. You close it off again to the public, but you give them uh a one day a, a 1 day
Hmm.
embargo, you know. So just like how we said before, how hey, 1 day should just be media only, and
Yep.
then you have the open public.
Hmm.
Well, you could do the same thing for E3, extend it one more day maybe, and
Hmm.
then you just say, hey, day one is just for industry and media
Media.
industry,
Yep.
industry media. Yeah, then you have day two, which you invite all the influencers and they get to see,
Hmm.
oh, you have to check out this, you have to
I
check out
mean,
that, you have to check this out. Because then once you open up to the public, they already have an idea of what's going on, what's happening.
I mean,
You know,
not gonna lie, like E3 2014, which was our first one that we all met up at, is, being able to touch the PS4 for the first time. It was immediately like I got back from that show and went and bought one,
yeah,
you know?
but that's where the influencers lie now.
Hmm.
Nowadays, like somebody buys let's a random thing. Let's say a Tamagotchi,
Hmm.
just a random item. If an influencer buys a Tamagotchi, does the sale of Tamagotchi go up? Yeah, because a lot of people are like, oh, check out so and so's using this, or so and so is playing this. So it has that little clout where they're like, oh, you know what? I want to get that too. So I mean, they honestly need to bring it back to being like a trade show, bring it back to just cl behind closed doors. If they want to make it public for half the time,
Hmm.
not the entire time, because then you don't have this massive. You can t sit for a second.
Hmm.
You can enjoy the spot.
Yeah. All right.
You can talk to people.
Yep.
But,
Which is that's
but
how we
yeah,
all met.
but I mean that
All right.
and then Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo having their own little conventions that makes it
Hmm.
is the same way, because then
So
that's public open.
speaking of PlayStation, their CEO, end of last week, came out and said that AI is a powerful tool that they want to use to make PlayStation the best, to kind of really make it the best place to play, which has been their motto for ages now. Um, but one of the things that I thought was really interesting, and I think Wesley from Game Informer really touched us on this great, is Hiroki Nishino, who's the CEO of PlayStation Interactive Entertainment and PlayStation or Sony Interactive Entertainment and PlayStation, is that when he was asked about AI leading to layoffs, which we've seen a lot of that, Hiroki said human creativity must remain at the center. And he said AI is a powerful tool, but not a replacement for artists or creators. And I thought that was really interesting because that's the first time we've really heard anybody say, hey, we want AI to be an asset to be used instead of replacing developers. I still don't want AI in my gaming, but I think that's inevitable at this point.
Kind of.
Knowing a game was made with AI, is that going to stop you from playing it?
Nope. It Not at all. And for my take, and this is just me, you
Hmm.
know. Unfortunately, we don't have the other guys. Me with AI, not AI. If it's a good game, I don't care. You know,
Yeah.
that hands down. But what I do feel is going to happen is that with AI happening, you're going to have instead of a 20-man project or a 20-man team for like
Hmm.
art is always going to be the one that's front facing. Instead of having like let's say a team of five doing environment, you're only going to have a team of two.
Hmm.
Uh, yes, it'll lead to layoffs. It's going to lead to um, a lot smaller groups.
Hmm.
But sometimes, I'm not going to lie, you don't want to put too many hands in. Like, you don't need that many cooks in the
Hmm.
kitchen. I've
Yeah.
never been on that side. Like I can't say that's true. I haven't been on that side where like they do have a bunch of people working on like a bunch of backgrounds, a bunch of whatever rendering, item rendering,
So here's a,
scaling and stuff like that.
talking about that. They're talking about their generative AI engine Mockingbird, and that it quickly animates 3D facial models based on the performance captures, and that Naughty Dog is using it to make Intergalactic. From what we saw in that trailer, yeah, I could not have told you that was using AI.
Yeah. And
That looks like classic
that's what I'm
Naughty Dog.
saying. You're going to get instead of a 20-man team
Hmm.
down in half, maybe even a third, just because you don't have that many people sticking their hands in the pot.
Hmm.
Um, so in one essence, in my mind, in one essence, you're going to have a lot more tight-knit like artistry, tight-knit because if you
Hmm.
use AI as a like as an assistant, as a tool,
Correct.
you're pretty much you're gonna draw your like I'm gonna draw Matt and
Hmm.
then have Matt the whole character like 3D model of Matt as me, the developer.
Yep.
Then I want to throw that file in the AI, let it load up, let it get every inch and part, and then say AI, have Matt say these lines.
Hmm.
And they're gonna watch it and then they're gonna say, okay, well, we need to fix some facial structure, some like, have Matt say, oh wow, surprised. And then like, oh, like, they're gonna fix to see
Hmm.
where they want to
And to
like
your point, right?
add that to them.
Which,
And then again, this is still just
mhm,
one person that's doing one character, for example. So instead of 10 people having to get together, it's just
mhm.
one person like
And to your
solely
point, right?
focused on it.
They're saying with Mockingbird, animation work that would have taken hours can now be completed in a fraction of a second because
Hmm.
they're not replacing human performers or anything. They're taking the
Speeding it up,
video and optimizing it
speed
for
it
live
up,
captures. So, they've invested a lot into it. We'll see where it goes. But I think as long as AI is being used as like a kind of like an assistant, it's just an add-on to help your job. I think that's what AI's next steps are. Like a lot of people are just trying to make it do what people do, and I don't think you can
Yeah,
do it. We've already seen where some studios have tried to do a game completely generated with AI and it fails.
yeah.
So now,
I mean, you have to ha like Nishino says, you need to have
mhm,
that human just to correct it to see it.
mhm,
Because yeah, like they have the AIs making like stories and stuff like that, but you still need to guide it in the way you want it to be done.
mhm,
And that's what the human part is. It's not like a random person being, oh yeah, that looks good, send it. No. These have been people that have been in the industry, that they know exactly what they're doing, what they need to
yep,
do. They're not like before they didn't have shortcuts, but now here's some shortcuts that they can use that completely will alleviate a lot of stress that they
Hmm.
have. Like, oh, we need to make this deadline. We need to make this deadline. Think about if the first iteration of Cyberpunk,
Yep.
the first iteration of Cyberpunk, if that was done with AI, would it have been delayed?
It should have been delayed.
Well, I mean, like, because it was buggy,
Hmm.
it was graphically
And the
bad,
only reason they
but
even released it was because the investors.
exactly. But if they had AI, would it have been as buggy? Would it have been as graphically bad? Would have been so
You,
I can't throw it against like I need to throw this against the wall kind of thing.
I think you would have had it be where it was you're getting down
You
into
would have had
crunch
it,
time, right? The AI would have been helping render the game, and you have somebody human be able to go in and check things
yeah.
after it's
Well,
already rendered it, and then that would have sped up the process, took some a crunch time off of them,
yeah.
um, all sorts of things. Now, that being said, let's talk about mistakes. And we're going to close out tonight with a company that is known for making the biggest blunder in E3 history, which was Sega. We all know the infamous
I was reading
Dreamcast
this
story.
earlier too. I
You
was
know,
reading this
when
earlier.
when Dreamcast launched the console into stores on the same exact day at E3 during their presser, they said, "Hey, by the way, here's our new console. It's called the Dreamcast." So it was already sitting on shelves. Nobody knew about it, and it ended up costing Sega to the point where they no longer made
It
consoles.
costed Sega for the lack of better terms. It costed Sega. Wasn't
Correct.
the oh, and I'm not gonna lie, I had a Dreamcast. That thing was amazing. That
It
thing
was
had
ahead of its time. It was
so
so ahead
much
of its time.
potential. It was
Yep.
too ahead of its time. That's what was wrong with it. It was too ahead of its time.
Oh, I remember
Yeah,
the
those little
memory cards
virtual
having
memory cards.
the
Yeah.
Tamagotchis in them,
Oh,
and
dude. The
um
virtual memory cards.
freaking I played
You only had it one time with the Pocket Station.
yep.
That never came to US.
I played Starlancer like crazy on that
Ah,
thing.
bro. And that's a memory card. And you had a virtual memory card. You can play the games that like
Like
it would have like little mini games of the games that you
hmm
had on there. And you're like,
correct.
okay. And if you plugged it back in, you would get bonus. Like that was, I
Hmm.
guess, the first quote unquote amiibo for
Pretty
you guys
much,
out
yeah.
there. If you wanna make a if you don't know what that is, the
Hmm.
Dreamcast, the VMUs.
God,
It was
I
like the
would
quote
still own a
unquote first
Dreamcast.
amiibo, man. You just
Yeah.
plug it in, you would take it out, you would
Dude,
do your little thing.
you had 2K, which was the competitor to Madden and all of that. You had Power Stone, you had Soul Calibur. Like there were so many great games on the
Yeah.
Dreamcast.
And you would play little mini
And
games on the VMUs, man.
not gonna lie, that pack-in disc that it came with, including Shining Force on it, was just great,
Yeah.
you know? But so Sega, a couple of things. So they announced that they killed off a $882 million project that's been in development since 2001. Um, but they kind of laid out their schedule and their financial meeting and stuff like that. And this is where I kind of want to talk to you about. So, with as much as you
Oh
love Sega and
man,
go back with it.
I love Atlas, dude, and I'm
So
so sad
let's
that
so let's look at Sega. So they've got in winter they've got Stranger Than Heaven. You've got Persona 4 Revival TBD.
yep,
New Warhammer 40,000 TBD.
yep.
Medieval 30. So the ones that I'm more interested in your opinion, right, is because we haven't seen these in ages,
Oof.
which is Virtua Fighter,
Yep,
Crazy Taxi,
yep.
Golden Axe,
Mhm.
Jet Set
Jet.
Radio,
Oh God.
and Streets of Rage. Now, there's been spiritual successors to some of these,
Yep, a lot of them actually.
but here's my thing is Virtua Fighter,
Virtua Fighter would make it in this day and age now.
it would.
That's the sad thing. Virtua Fighter would make it in this day and age.
I think.
It's just like any other. It was
Mhm.
it predated Soul Calibur in the horizontal
Uh-huh.
movement. It was right there with Tekken. And
I remember I used to
it
play
wasn't so
so
crazy.
much Virtua Fighter in the arcade,
Yeah,
you know?
because the characters didn't they were people. It
Yeah,
was the DC of the fighting game, like
pretty
the fighting
much.
game. You know,
Um,
because you had Marvel, which is the Let's Go Crazy and infinite combos and combos up the wazoo. You had Street Fighter, which is the tried and true. You had Tekken,
mhm.
which is like your secondary. You had Mortal Kombat
So,
was going for violence. Virtua
mhm.
Fighter was the DC. It was just two people
Fighting
going
in
at it,
polygons. Yep.
fighting in polygons.
Hmm. Now, let me ask this. So when you look at the rest of them, Crazy Taxi, Golden Axe, Jet Set Radio, Streets of Rage, which of those four do you think could potentially succeed? How they
Now,
now?
two of them.
Okay.
Jet Set Radio and
Uh-huh.
Streets of Rage.
Those would be my two.
Yeah,
Because Jet Set Radio
easy.
has had, it is one of those fan bases that has stood the test of time.
It is
And
such a if you if you've never played Jet Set Radio,
I played a
please.
little bit. I sucked at it, but
Yeah,
I
Jet Set
enjoyed what
Radio,
it was, you know.
not Jet Set
Um,
Radio Future, but
yeah.
Jet Set Radio, the original one. What made it so fun is because the quote unquote minigame, and they have it actually in that spiritual successor,
Hmm. Yep.
Bomb Rush something. It was a PlayStation Plus free game, by the way.
Hmm.
Um, Pretty much it's you have to um spray paint the places, and there would be times when you could have a spray paint war. It's Bomb Rush something. Yeah, Bomb Rush
Bomb Rush
something.
Cyberpunk
Yes, that's what it is. Um,
came out
but
in 23.
yeah, and it was a PlayStation, like I said, it was a
Hmm.
PlayStation Plus free game.
Um,
You had mini games where it wasn't even a mini game. It was just you go around, you have to collect paint, you spray paint with like you have to do your little um patterns that you have to do, and
yep.
then you go on to the next one, and you don't get caught by the cops. That's it. That was as basic. It was easy. You could turn that into a new game now. You can have it be a worldwide kind of thing
Hmm.
where, just like how they have like the best way I can put it is oh, what's that shooter? God, I was playing it so much.
Counter-Strike.
No, it was God, I forget what it is off the top of my head.
But to your
But
point,
you
like, mhm.
there's three factions, and it's a worldwide game where
Hmm.
you just like, okay, you go try and dominate the zones, and
Yeah.
then there's going to be pushback because everybody's on different sides, and
So
it's just constant constant graffiti battle. That would be so much fun because then you just hop on, play for a few hours, control a
yeah,
zone, or if
I
you're
think.
like a guild or something
Mhm.
like that, you control one zone that's your home turf. That'd be like sick.
Now, I think Streets of Rage, because you saw the revival of like Double Dragon and stuff like that, I think it's going to do great. I do think though, when you look at Crazy Taxi and Golden Axe, I think more Golden Axe than Crazy Taxi is. The time is we're so far beyond Golden Axe and what made Golden Axe special back in the Genesis days that to try and come up with something now, it you might as well just have it as a new IP at this point.
Ah, this is the thing. I think Golden Axe and Streets of Rage, they're both very similar in game style, gameplay. I think what they need to do is that they need to have it as look up a different one. look up a different game for me
Well, I
right
want to
now.
see when Last Golden Axe came out, right? So when we're kind of looking at like Star Fox and stuff. So Golden Axe Beast Rider, right? They tried to back in 2008 on the PS3 and the 360. It's the last time we've had anything Golden Axe related.
Yeah, that's yeah. But look up the arcade Dungeons and Dragons. I forget what it's called. The game. Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons game. Yeah,
Uh,
Shadow of Mysteria.
yep.
That's what they need to turn it into right now. If they do come out with the Golden Axe or a
Hmm.
Streets of Rage, because that game um it had a menu in the
Yeah.
game. So while
Did
you're playing, you can go into your
mhm,
your menu and select like a potion or select a magic spell or whatever you need to select.
mhm,
And then you would be able to use that and keep going. Does the difficulty scale
mhm.
need to ramp? Yes. It's a different age, different day and age, but
Did
you
they
need
have did they pass the time for Crazy Taxi? Or do you think that could potentially make a comeback?
no. Crazy Taxi done.
Okay.
It was a good game. It was a good game to have in the arcades
Hmm.
because get you going, but as a game, nah. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna spend 1 hour on it and be like, I'm done. I'm good. If it was an arcade game, sure, different story, but not as a game. Like, and again, those other three, they are online, like playable, How fun would it
Hmm.
be to have like, for example, how fun would it be to have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all four of us playing on the Switch?
All right. So
How
so
how
it'll
much
be
fun would that be? Because then
mhm,
you don't have to like you just sit down, you're like, yo, bro, let's go, and then
yeah.
just beat the game or have like a certain amount of credits that you have to use credits, little
Hmm.
coins, the coin counter.
So I'd say for our listeners, make sure to go on when we post the YouTube video and even the audio this weekend. Like leave those comments because I'd love to see what you guys think, as far as those games.
No.
Have we passed the time where they're going to be relevant again? And even your thoughts on what we talked about tonight. So, um, you know, if you like what you heard, make sure to drop us a follow on the audio platform you're listening to us on. Head over to crashinggamenight.com. Um, with everything going on in the world right now, just please be excellent to each other. And I'll let Jay have it because we don't have
That's
Jeremy
right, guys. Everybody.
to.
That's right, everybody. Be safe out there. Um, what else does Jerry say? Oh yeah. See something, say something.
Yep.
You know, it's uh it's not never too late. Just
Mhm.
be cool, be safe out there. Yeah, yeah. So
And my man, J Rock, J Bone,
J-Bo, to you.
to you.
Um, no, we are uh, we are almost through May,
Hmm.
Hopefully everybody had a good Mother's Day that were out there. Hopefully you guys did.
Yep.
Um, dang, yeah, we're just around the corner from summer, so
Hmm.
I know kids are gonna start getting out of school. Be patient,
Yes.
enjoy, enjoy the holidays, enjoy the summer vacation, the upcoming summer vacation. You're almost there. You're almost there, guys. People are graduating now, so
Hmm.
hopefully, enjoy your graduations. Other than that, nothing much to announce. Just almost halfway through the year. Crazy, man. That's
Right.
crazy. Anyways, I don't have my man Theo. My man Theo, not here. It's okay. But no. I don't know how would I do this for you, man, because I gotta send it to you. I can't send I don't want to send it to myself. That's too much
It's
time.
not like you haven't done it before.
Oh yeah, no, I have to do it sometimes because there are some days when I'm just like,
Hmm.
yo, But Matt, take it away. Please don't disappoint us like Jerry does.
Well, in the moral words of the babyface one, well, y'all, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Till next time, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. No, yeah, no, no, no. Yeah, so I say that to you. Good night, everybody.
Damn you. We'll see everyone when we get back. Good night.